Ukraine and Russia, who are major agricultural suppliers to much of the rest of the world,
has become more pronounced, accelerated by
الخطاب اللي احنا بنقدمه من كل المؤسسات سواء ملكيه او مؤسسات.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tarek, for the very.
And frankly, the success that we have seen and the surpassed any expectations that we have.
So it means the masses
Not out of the business because there's a certain lockdown and giving them access to.
having the vegetable food offerings or being non-bank financial.
As my colleagues have said, unprecedented challenges. Thank you.
yes, this is a crisis that none of the human beings exist today have ever seen before. It is not happened probably this century. Not just a matter of dollars and cents. It's also, there's this social and institutional.
Thank you very much.
At the annual meeting of the Islamic Development Bank, a good opportunity to review some of our strategies in the region and the policies. Now, when we talk about food crisis, we want to be fair and honest. This is not starting today. In the region, in the Near East and North Africa region that I'm covering, the crisis has long-term, when we look at the climate change impact, water scarcity impact, so there's already a lack of ability to produce food in the way we used to produce food in the old days. Now, the COVID came in 2 years ago, and with the COVID, the supply chains were interrupted, and it was like a wake-up call. All the countries have realized that there is a direct threat on the food supply chain because of the interruption of the supply chains. Shortly, as we are just starting recovering from the COVID impacts, this Ukraine-Russia crisis started in the Black Sea region. Immediately the food started shortage. Now, what is the situation? The situation is that we, both Ukraine and Russia, produce over 30% of the world supply of the basic foods. And that is suspended now or interrupted. The soil conditions are becoming harder and more saline, so you need more specialized fertilizers, synthetic fertilizers, to be able to compensate to all these conditions. As a result, there's no way that we can maintain our production levels domestically without the use of fertilizers. Again, here Russia produces 30 to 50% of global manufacture and export of fertilizers alone. And countries still use some of their stocks for fertilizers. The other complication with fertilizer is that it's very much dependent on the gas prices, because gas enters in the production of fertilizers directly, and it's almost the increase in price now is 1-to-1. So if we approach the winter and this problem is not solved, and there will be high demand on oil and gas, and we're expecting and anticipating increase in oil and gas prices, which means an increase in in fertilizers, then the crisis will escalate. So we got about 30% increase in food prices just post-COVID, and then we have about 20% topped up as a result of this crisis. Now we're kind of stabilizing, but it is the quiet, calm time before the storm comes if the issue is not resolved before the winter. I wouldn't say there will definitely be a famine, but definitely there will be shortage of food supplies for quite some time for certain areas and certain countries, especially countries that do not have the capacity to respond quickly.